guys are looking at me from here, but I'm looking at you from here. So there is a little bit of a delay. Yeah, death of regional barbecue is today's topic of choice. It was a good enough title to get you to click the link, so that worked, right?
Yeah, Jesus.
About 8 seconds ago.
Yes. So right on. Thank you, Rob. How you doing, brother? How's everything on your side of the water, huh? Doing another one of those cooks anytime soon? Oh man, this really was a good one. Really was a good one. Let's pull up our stories because there's a lot of questions we didn't get through.
We didn't really do any stories last time.
We didn't. You just wanted to go on a rampage or something. It was just weird.
I wanted to go on a rampage.
I don't know what was going on with you. I did get the link.
I think I did go on a rampage about like why pop-ups just out of operate them suck.
Yeah, after you were misquoted, I told you we gotta get you that media training, brother. You can't. You can't just be going out there talking all willy-nilly. Get us all in trouble. There we are. Hey, we're good? Oh, always. Salute.
Salute.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Mama Garmin.
Happy birthday.
There we go. Ooh. So you got a good idea, bad idea? Kick us off with?
Actually, I didn't even think. I've been so busy.
I know that's really your one job. Your only contribution is to open up the show with a nice good idea, bad idea.
A good idea, bad idea. Good idea. Coming up with the good idea, bad idea. Bad idea. Not having a good idea, bad idea ready.
That is very true.
Does that fit?
I think we may let that ride. We may let that.
That's my one out. I can't. That was my smash the glass moment.
Emergency. Got it.
Yeah,
got
that was it. Never again.
No worries. We got it. I'll do the spiel, yeah?
Sounds good.
Do my spiel. It's a deep breath. All right, there we go. Hey, guys. My name is Rasheed Philips, and welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that brings you everything in barbecue from the good, the bad, and everything between. Sometimes it's really good. Other times, like last episode, it's kind of bad. But we rebound, and as always, joining me is my bearded wonder co-host,
Bryan Hull.
There we go. He's getting really happy. I'm getting excited for Bryan because coming really, really, really soon, Bryan's a free agent. Not in barbecue from this podcast because he's still flipping ribs. So please submit resumes to This Week in Barbecue.
Wow. All right. It's been fun, guys.
You're going to pull a Birdman and walk out in the middle of the interview like you did on Breakfast Club?
No, I can never do that.
I
see it through. I see it through.
There we go. You got to finish what you start. No, so this week there's different news, but a lot of questions. So, because Bryan bogarted the show last episode, we're going to just start off with some questions and work backwards.
Blame me.
Hey, you're not paying attention, so I can't justifiably blame you.
I'm getting notes ready for the show.
I know.
That way I don't have to look at the phone. I had all my articles pulled up.
Right on. See, you're getting better at this. It's almost like you like it.
Sorry, it's also football day, so where I could have been doing it beforehand, I was watching football.
There's nothing wrong with that. Did you see the game yesterday between Georgia and Florida?
Yeah, I did watch that game.
That's kind of nice. I was actually at Pontoon for that.
Yeah.
Swung by to grab my beer, and I can't even grab my own beer. It's sold out everywhere.
Well, so that's the best news about the game.
The best news.
The worst news is the stadium didn't open up and just suck everybody.
Yeah, no, it was. I went out to go grab TDS, and for those of you who aren't aware, I do have a beer. This is our third year running it. It's called Tall, Dark, and Smoky. This is the third version of it, and it constantly sells out. It moved and sold out online in minutes. The other states barely have any. You can still snag it at a couple local spots. I think Rodney's, and shout out to Rodney Scott for always supporting, man. Rodney picked it up last year, and it was a great hit, so they got it again this year. It's at a couple of Atlanta Taco Max. It's at a couple of Jack's liquor stores. It's all through Georgia, so it's kind of nice walking in the liquor store and seeing a can look back at you with your face on it. Mama, I made it. There's actually a thank you to my mom on the side of the label, too. So let's start with a few questions.
Can I ask a question about your beer?
You can ask a question about my beer.
Yeah. Is it the same recipe, or have you guys changed anything?
That is a good question. So I don't know if you guys can hear. Lee asked, is it the same recipe or have we modified anything? It's actually the same recipe, but we've been aging it in Buffalo Trace barrels for the limited bottle release, and we'll cut that with the fresh smoke that I do, because this isn't like a white label thing. For those who don't know what white labeling is, it's where there's like a standard product and you just put your name on it and they market it and go to town. Like Turtles seasoning, white label.
White label, okay.
White label. Mine is not that. I legitimately take about 2 to 3 days to smoke thousands of pounds of grain and malt just to get it to my specifications. Like, it's legitimately me smoking it on pearl, giving you that true flavor. This isn't like liquid smoke added. No, we're burning bark and rolling smoke. Real deal over here. No,
You don't
no
want to
shortcuts.
add liquid smoke to the thing you're gonna smoke?
No, I don't want to do that. That's God. No. It's just a bad idea all around. Let's see here. What do we have? This is interesting.
We're gonna start with a question.
I figured we can start. Do you want to start with questions? Or
We should start with a
a
question. Since
We
we didn't
should.
really answer any questions
Hey,
last
you
time.
kind of went off the handle last episode.
Yeah,
so
I
we
know,
gotta,
it's my fault.
We got to retreat a little. Let's answer some of these before they get too bad. This is a good one. How do you get your charcoal barbecue to flare up nicely for charring and searing the fats?
So, like, the best way. So, let's just say you have a ribeye or a New York strip, and you got that fat cap side. Mm-hmm. Take some tongs, flip it up so that fat cap is directly over the coals, and as that starts to cook and melt, it will drop onto the coals and start to flare up.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
What's your technique? I mean, besides, the best one is just throw some lighter fluid on there.
Oh yeah, gotta love lighter fluid. Nothing says yummy like a ribeye that tastes like.
Oh, and by the way, when they say natural lighter fluid, no odor.
There's always
Yeah,
there's always something. I do that. Lee and I, we've done it numerous times where we'll just really let that fat render out and pool a little, and then turn the steak over so it hits and it flares up. Or if we're doing it for like commercial shoot where we call it Hollywooding it, we will do a can of canola oil spray just out of frame with a WD-40 tip to get it fine-tuned to get you real sharp. But this is commercial shoot stuff. This
Right.
is not to eat or to consume. But if you are really wanting to just put on that show at home, let that fat collect on one side, just render, then flip it over and all that oil and fat just hits it, smoke, fire, flare. But the thing that happens is people freak out. They back away and they jerk it and move around like, no, relax. It's only going to be there for like a second or two. Dissipates very quickly.
Well, that's why you also have your hot zone, cold zone, so
go.
that if it gets too
But
gnarly.
what's a hot zone, cold zone, Brian? What do you mean? You can have multiple. What is this? I thought
so
a fire was a
your
fire.
charcoal, especially on a charcoal grill, really should be towards, like, let's say you have a left and a right. Mm-hmm. You make your left hand zone, say half the charcoal grill. That's where your charcoal is. That's where your flame is. And then you have a cold zone where you have less or no heat source. That way you can move proteins off to the side if it gets a little too crazy in your charcoal zone.
It's crazy. It's like you know what you're doing. Like you're talking about 2-zone cooking over here. Who knew? You learn all types of stuff on This Week in Barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that before becoming host.
See, I'm glad you're taking notes. That's what the book is for.
Oh no, I didn't take notes on that.
Oh, well, great. I'm gonna hit another question. I think this one's specifically directed towards me. This is from Millhouse68. Thank you, Millhouse. What do you mop your jerk chicken with? Jerk sauce.
That's definitely a you question.
Yeah. I mop it with a thinned out version of my jerk sauce.
Do you thin it out with vinegar?
No, because the vinegar knocks out all the heat.
Okay.
I actually thin it out with chicken stock.
Okay.
Because I usually save all the bones when making the jerk chicken, and I'll char those up, render it down, some rosemary, some herbs, build up a chicken stock, and I'll use that after straining it and so forth. I strain that and use that with my jerk sauce to cut it and just mop it that way. And I definitely do have 2 dedicated mops that are strictly for jerk, just because that oil stays in there no matter how much I clean them and rub them out. So thanks for that question, Millhouse. There's another question that someone just asked from Bassmaster Guy. Rasheed, when did you become a professional? I didn't know I was one.
You're a
Might not be
professional.
now.
I definitely don't think I am now. I'm a lot of things in life, but I'm not a professional
You're a
at all.
professional gentleman.
Hey, there it is. I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
I'm a professional gentleman. Outside of that, I got no business having professional in the title. I'm a semi-pro butt rubber amateur fire starter.
Semi-pro butt rubber.
Semi-pro butt rubber. Because you'll always rub more butts than you'll start fires. One fire can get you a mean 12 to 24 butts.
I can't argue with that.
No,
math.
you can't. It's barbecue math. It's barbecue math. That's the
Just, we just need to sell more butts. That's the
we
only
do.
problem.
We do. And that's the thing I keep thinking, like, it's barbecue math is the only math that I'll do in public because I can usually get that right. And as far, let's quick segue. You mentioned selling more butts, which is odd. One of the only things you can say in barbecue that won't get you in trouble in the street.
Well, I mean, there's another place you could say that at.
You could, but it's not that kind of website.
No. I was gonna say Magic City. You could sell that. Like it's more wings, more butts.
More wings, more butts, more fun all around.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm trying to figure out here with us. You spoke about selling. We quickly talked off camera about how bad things have gotten price wise.
Yeah, okay.
Like
So
I snagged lunch and it was $31.
How many wings did you get?
I got 10. If you want to call them wings, 10 wings and a medium pizza.
It's $31.
$31. The drink was mine. I had that in the fridge.
Okay.
And
Otherwise, they would have charged you $3.50 for it.
oh gosh, yeah. Who knows? So
2 or 5 guys.
yeah,
Last week,
yeah.
$17 was with fries.
$17 was with fries.
With
Okay.
fries.
It was
So-
with a small fry.
The
Okay.
5 guys would
Which
like
is
to
which is
help
half
us.
a bag.
Yeah.
Fair-
Well,
fair
a
enough.
third, a quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, turkey prices.
Insane.
Yeah. I went out to the store and I saw some, and then I got my number back from my guys, and I was like, yeah, this is really, really bad. You know, you've got some cats like shout out to Howard over at Sweet Auburn. They just announced a little bit of news, a little sidetrack news. They just announced they're now opening up to take Thanksgiving Day holiday orders. So you can either get 2.5 pounds breast sliced straight for about $60, or you can get and it's strictly just breast meat, nothing, no size, no nothing. They also have the whole bird going for $260, but that's getting you 2 pounds of stuffing / dressing because we went through that whole thing. You get additional sides, some biscuits, gravy, a quart of everything. But bird prices are getting up there. We got reached out to a fair amount of people wanting to know if and when we'll put the orders open, and we will, but it's going to be a very limited amount, and something tells me it's going to go by faster than I really want it to.
Oh, it's always going to go faster than you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Question. So you did a cook with the whole chicken this week, and I saw a price. How big was that chicken, and how much was that?
Oh my gosh, I did. So Corey is on bed rest. He got sick coming back from Connecticut. So he was down and out. So I made him some of my grandma's chicken dumpling soup, fresh. Went and got a bird. Bird was $18.
How big?
Not big enough for $18.
Not big enough. For
Not big enough for $18. Like for $18, I need that thing to be the size of a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you don't want to buy a chicken that big.
You don't, but for that cost, I might as well. It was a lot, and it was just a Purdue bird. It wasn't anything luxurious or crazy. It was an $18 bird, and that was with the giblets, and even the giblets and the neck bone. There's next to nothing in there.
Yeah.
It was the prices are getting maddening. Which here's a shameless plug. This week this week is full of a lot. So those of you who are listening, you're getting the inside scoop. Let's see. This week I am announcing a launch of a new site. Not that one. I am also going to be doing a giveaway announcement with an amazing brand.
We never did this last week.
We got to make that 2 giveaways.
You were gonna do that last
Yeah.
week. and then I went off on my tangent.
You went all crazy
sorry.
on me, man. So we
Apologies.
got new site launching. We're doing 2 giveaways. We're also releasing our $20 video series. So we've actually completed our series of $20 meals from Kroger. And when I say $20, I
Actually
mean $20. I mean down to the salt. literally nothing hits that pot or pan that we did not get from Kroger. So I'm not going to let you know what the first one is, but we have an amazing dish that came. All of them come in under or right at $20, and it's all ingredients: your protein, your starches, your veggies, your oils, your seasonings, all $20.
How many videos are in the series?
6.
6. All right.
Yeah, so it's I'm not gonna lie. The first one out, I was sweating. I was out there like, ooh, 20. This is kind of tight. It's kind of tight. It really is. And then you know what came in handy?
20,
that Kroger
20
Plus
was
card.
tight 2 years ago.
Yeah.
20 is insanely tight now.
But with the 20, we were able to make I'm not saying 20 for one serving.
Right.
All of these are either 2 to 6 serving dishes.
Yeah.
So it's going to
It's a
stretch.
family meal.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to really make this stretch. And when I first announced it, I had a single mom message me. And she's like, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, and I'm tired of us, having to feed them these low cost, like cheap, unhealthy things because that's all they can get.
Right.
Like your box craft and this and that. Money's tight right now. So if this helps one person, it is legitimately worth the weeks that we put into making it happen. So stay tuned for that. News. I'm tired of talking. I want to get back to drinking.
All right, so we still have some barbecue fests around. It's kind of like we're kind of entering the tail end of that season, but there's still some more. So down at the Palm Beach Food and Wine Festival, they're doing a Smoke and Sunshine Day.
Yeah. Shout out to Rick and the whole
Yeah,
crew.
Rick Mace of Tropical Smokehouse. He's
Yep,
hosting it. So John Bates of Interstellar, Hector Garate of Palmera, Elliot Moss is going to be there. S.O.O. Ramos. I
2M.
just 2M. Just butchered that name, so apologies.
Don't worry. We'll get you Rosetta Stone Spanish.
Oh,
edition.
okay, yeah. It's not going to help. I'm a white Southern guy. I add consonants and vowels where they don't need to be.
It doesn't make it okay.
No, it doesn't make it okay.
okay.
I'm just explaining why I'm an asshole.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and so that is December 10th, and they still have tickets for that.
Yep. We'll be posting a flyer. Rick shot us over a really dope flyer, so we're going to have that on the This Week in Barbecue
Yeah,
page.
Big
as well.
Belly Tour with Voodoo Brown Barbecue. I'm wearing the hat today.
Always.
Yeah,
I swear you
so-
get a percentage.
No, I don't. So that's still going on. So they're going to be at the Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest next weekend. They're going to be at Fijis. Not Fiji's.
I was like,
Fijis in Houston. I'm doing it again.
You are doing it again.
Fijis and Truth in Houston kind of back to back.
Okay.
1701 and Beaumont, and then Blue Oak in Louisiana.
Nice.
So yeah, a couple of different spots. If you're kind of in that region, you can go see them.
You can choose. There's a lot also happening in just Texas this week in regards to Lockhart.
Right.
So Pops, aka to the public, and Mr. Kevin Bledsoe is actually going to be at the Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest, which is Saturday, November 5th in Lockhart, Texas. It will be him along with Adrian, Aaron Franklin, Wyatt McSpade, Bob Phillips, no relation, and numerous other cats there cooking. I know what he's making. I'm not allowed to say yet, but I promise you, you don't want to miss this plate. It's a banger. Then, because he's the hardest working man in barbecue, he rolls over the very next day, and he's doing a public book signing at Franklin's, where you can still grab tickets for. I believe tickets are still on sale, so you can snag a ticket, go meet Pops, go meet Aaron Franklin, get your book signed, have some good barbecue, share some laughs, do whatever you want to do. There's a lot of fun stuff out there. Now, I saw something that I wanted to share with you because I'm always amazed at where barbecue is. I know it sounds extremely silly, and this will segue into what our title is. But I'm always amazed at where people are making barbecue and what they're cooking on. And this was not timed. This is not a plug or anything, but there's a great story from Vice on a young man who's doing barbecue. The title is called New Jersey's Secret Backyard Barbecue.
Oh, I actually
Vice.
just watched that video this week.
It was kind of chill. And the cat is actually making all the barbecue on master-built 1050s.
Yeah, he's got 2 side-by-side master-built 1050s, and he's running an underground pop-up out of his backyard. It's
in Jersey, out of the back lot of his folks
rad.
spot. I want to reach out to my guys over at Masterbuilt. I'm like, I say we get this guy like 2 more. Let's go up and do it. but he's making this happen, and it was just one of those things where if there is a will, you will make a way. Like no excuses. He's not in Texas. He's not in one of the name places for barbecue. When I think Jersey, I'm not thinking barbecue. But this guy's putting out, some interesting dishes. He's got a good following. He's practicing, honing his skills, and he's got the whole family involved. And you gotta love that.
And he's got the Lowrys down.
I did see the Lowrys. I saw that heavy pour in the Lowrys. I also do want to send him some seasoning too.
Yeah. No, it was actually like there's an article on it. There's also a video on it.
Let me see if I can pull up his name.
Read the article, go watch the video. It's really cool.
It's Tio Rose's Barbecue.
Right, but his Instagram handle is What's for Dinner.
What's for Dinner, yeah. The Instagram handle is What's for Dinner, but the business name is Tio Rose's. And that's Tio, Rose's, ROZAY, Barbecue LLC. Really, really seems to be a cool cat and a very, very, crazy menu and pretty good pricing too. Pulled pork, chicken wing, sausage, pork belly, burn ends, yellow rice and veggies, maduros, slaw. He's got a couple of different things on there. So it was really interesting watching that and watching someone craft and build their business.
Right.
Not on a char griller, not on Oklahoma Joe's, not on a reverse, not on the big boys we have.
No.
But he went for what was easily available that he could control. Got himself 2 Masterbuilt 1050s. Went to town on it.
And you know what? And he's doing it right. It's not a pellet smoker. Sorry. I just had to.
I'm trying to get invited back to Utah. The hotel,
my bad.
The hotel rooms were so nice, and I had a slick mountain view. Maybe I won't get invited back, but this weekend barbecue will get invited.
You'll get invited back. I won't get invited. Nah. I'm taking the smoke.
You'll take the smoke.
I'll take the smoke.
It's clean smoke though, so
so it didn't come off a pellet grill.
Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. This is why you build a war chest, so you can just fund your own stuff and not have to worry about people pulling out sponsorships. Like everyone is scattering from Kanye like roaches when the lights cut on right now.
That's a little understandable, though.
Well, yeah. We'll talk about that on Family Business. That's an off-air one, but woo, goodness gracious, the only thing he has left is his hairline. Everyone left, but hey, there's something to be said. There's something to be said. I'm just not gonna say it here. But you had a great story on regional barbecue, which is why I digressed and talked about Tio Rose, because you said there was, well, I'll let you explain it, your words.
Okay, so last weekend in Mississippi was the annual Southern Foodway Alliance barbecue symposium, and one of the things they talked about there was, and this is the title is the quote unquote death of regionality in barbecue.
Yeah. Hence our title.
Yeah. So Rodney Scott, what they've noticed in their restaurant group. So Rodney Scott's Barbecue is part of the Pahakis.
Yeah. I never say it right.
I'm restaurant group, and Angie Mogier was there talking about it. What she noticed is that the traditional vinegar-based sauce that Rodney is known for.
Yes.
And it's that's what everybody uses in South Carolina.
That's a staple.
Like when they go to other locations, say in their Alabama locations or their Georgia location, anywhere further away from South Carolina, people do not gravitate towards that sauce. They gravitate more towards the sweeter sauce that they're more familiar with.
Yeah.
And then there's also the proliferation of brisket everywhere.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it. It's like I sell way more brisket than pork butt, and Georgia was a pork butt state.
It is.
For the longest time.
It is. And I think that's just, owed to the Texas Mafia. Again, it's sort of however they step, everyone follows, and everyone wants to make brisket because it's somehow been popularized by the media. But prior to brisket was a throwaway, even in Texas. You watch the old videos of Miss Tootsie, how she talks about it. It was a toss away. It was whole hog, to me, is and will always remain king of the barbecue meats.
Right.
Like you can get down all day on a brisket, on a bud, bird, turkey, whatever, but can you roll smoke and cook an entire animal like a whole hog like that? And I think everyone's just you'll find Texas style brisket in Iowa. Why? That's just a huge disconnect.
Brisket everywhere.
Yeah. especially overseas, because we've got a vast amount of listeners overseas, and they're doing the same thing. So like, why not create a style that's more relatable to your region?
Well, I think regionality needs to get back to wood usage, really.
Yeah,
I think you can make a Texas style brisket, but for me, my Texas style brisket doesn't taste like Texas because I'm not importing post oak from Texas. I'm using whatever Georgia oak I can get my hands on. Now that's a mixture of white oak and post. And even the post oak we have here in Georgia is actually very different than the post oak they have in Texas.
Oh, the aroma is, when it burns and it is a completely different aroma than what you're using. You wouldn't know it.
I mean, honestly, I think when people should be doing is, you can cook a brisket.
Yeah.
You can use Texas style trimming techniques. You can use a Texas style offset smoker.
Yeah.
But to make it unique to the region, you need to be using the wood that you have in that region.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one way. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that I want to do that because I've been in a pop-up model I can't do.
Yeah.
Brunswick stew is like what I grew up on. But Brunswick stew is hard as shit to transport to a pop-up.
Very.
Yeah. And so, I don't want to add another piece of equipment just to hold Brunswick stew. But, if I got to a place where I have a more, I have a set location, Brunswick stew is something I'll bring back, and, crackling cornbread, the stuff that I grew up on eating. That was, that's what we went and got out. When we went to go get barbecue, that's what
That's what your plate was.
Yeah.
That was your meat and threes. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm always asked, what wood do you use? What do you do this? I use what I found, because when I started the business, the one thing I did not want to do was pay for fuel.
Right.
So I used what was local, and what was local was free, and free worked. So I would go out and chop my own tree. So everything that I use is local to Georgia. I can get good hickory. I can get good oak here. It's all sourced here. So when you're starting out, when you're building your flavor profile, if you legitimately don't already have an offer on a house in Texas, stop trying to source and ship and get your wood from Texas. Use what's easily available in your backyard. Use what you can. This is legit. I'm gonna put you all on 2 cents a game here. This was my move. After every storm, for the next 2 to 3 days, I would wake up and I would go on Craigslist, and then on the Craigslist I would go into the free section and put tree, wood, firewood, tree removal, and I would see so many people list, hey, we just had the storm, so and such tree left, it's yours if you can cut it up and take it. And I would legit drive around with my axe and chainsaws in my truck, and that's all I did. Lee will tell you, I had, at one point, my garage was full to the brim. I mean, from the moment you step in all the way to the back with just free wood that I'd split and just had it seasoning, because that saved me thousands of dollars by just putting in some elbow grease. And it was easy elbow grease because, well, I don't have a pop-up on a Tuesday.
Right.
I can just go get that, cut it, stack it. I can season it to my requirements and my specifications. And I just kept running that game all the way up to last year. I'd still do it. Just go grab the axe, chainsaw. I saw on the way here, someone had a tree count. I was like, oh, that's hickory. It's like, let me go get my chainsaw and just see, I'll take that off your hands for you. Quick cut up, stack it. Now's the perfect time to start splitting wood to season for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to it. But not everyone does that. It's just one of those things. But use what's readily available and easy for you to access, that you don't have to worry about it running out. Because if you get hooked on Texas post oak and you've got a 3-event weekend, it's day 3 and you're like, crap, I'm running low. Now what? You've got your whole customer base used to that flavor profile, and you can't get your hands on the supply. What are you going to do? Who knows? I'm going to ping pong back to a bit of news. This is from Peculiar Pig Farm, owned by Marvin. Marvin is actually one of the recipients of, Marvin Ross, one of the recipients of the Kingsford Preserve the Pit program.
So Hector Garate, he's partners with Peculiar Farm. Those are the pigs they use for their whole hog at Palmyra.
Good deal. See, it's all coming back full circle. Barbecue world is very small. They're doing their Peculiar Pig Farm Tour Series. So the farm tours start, this one in particular starts Saturday, November 26th from 3 to 6 p.m. and you can still get tickets. Tickets are $185 plus tax. They're ready to be sold. The farm tour, delicious food from wonderful chefs BJ Dennis and Nico Callaghan. Educational experience. You might even get to pet some goats. So, yeah, you never know.
It's a hog series.
It's a hog series, but there will be goats on deck.
Goats.
You
Okay.
can pet some goats.
Right.
No, so I had to put that out there. I love seeing this. You should definitely get to know your farmer or get to know a farmer in your area.
Correct me if I'm like BJ Dennis. He's the one who is a big champion of gullah cuisine. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Very much so preserving that. And if you aren't familiar or aware with gullah, Google it. I think Rihanna was in a movie on Amazon.
I think it was by Donald Glover.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a Gullah Island, something like that. It had a great soundtrack. Another bit of news from the West Coast, our This Week in Barbecue alum, Mr. Matt Horn, is doing a whole hog pick, and he says, join me November 4th as we honor a long-time Southern tradition of cooking a whole hog. They'll have a whole hog, a band, curated wines, and if you want more information, we'll have the link for purchasing your tickets in the show notes. But you see, whole hog, I'm telling you, I think briskets had a good run, but whole hog's coming for that ass.
Well, what's funny about that? Like, I like the wine pairing. I think that's like the next big thing. Is like a lot of people pair beers and even some whiskey. I pair beers with barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
I see more people in the future pairing wine and bourbons and whiskeys and with barbecue.
Well, when I started, that's how I started.
Right.
I ended up at breweries later after getting the business established. But I started at wineries and wine boutiques and chateaus and vineyards. That was the moneymaker. That's what gave me that going from red to black really quickly to recoup my costs in the first year was hitting up chateaus. And I used to, before COVID, we would do twice a year a barbecue and bourbon private party tasting. It was 50 people, ticketed, secret private event. I really want to get back to that. Shout out to Nick Bidell. I do want to get that whole series up and running again, but it was just curated. They handled the bourbon. I took care of the smoke. Meat's got to cook it how I wanted, play around, just have fun. Because I told you, my ideal like Michelin star rated barbecue experience is going to be served like sushi. Finest cuts, small bites, and it's like 23 courses. You're just getting one thing on the plate, get to enjoy it. It's paired with a nice little rum or whiskey or bourbon, and we're just going to keep cycling through it. In my head, when I open up the spot I truly want to open, that's how it's going to be.
Barbecue omakase.
Ted would be proud.
In Austin.
Really?
Had like Wagyu on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like Japanese Wagyu. And I was like, I can do this.
Yeah, that's how I want to do it. That is my ideal spot. That's how I want to get things set up. So it's it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Let's get to questions, then some more news. Yeah,
I think that's a good way to go.
I think that works out for all. The whole team's in consensus. Oh, I like this one. This one is from Pavel Sukta. What is your favorite hot sauce? If it's homemade, can you share a recipe? Please don't say Pete's or Frank's.
I'm not gonna say Pete's or Frank's or Tabasco.
All right.
And,
I'd let Cholula slide.
I'd
let Cholula slide.
Cholula's the house.
Cholula's
because
you
I
buy
was
that
gonna
thing
say, I
by
was
the
gonna say
barrel.
Cholula. Like any time I go to like a breakfast joint, if they don't have Cholula, I almost want to get up and just like walk out.
It's like, what are you doing?
Like I need Cholula on my hash browns.
Then you pull it out of your pocket and leave it. There's like, the next people need this.
Yeah,
Just leave it on the table. Like, I've got more. No, Cholula, definitely Cholula for me. I definitely missed the hot sauce I was making, the mango scotch bonnet. But I love just like a good table sauce, good Cholula. Anything from Ed. Ed Curry, for those of you who don't know, is the evil mastermind genius behind some of the deadliest peppers and those blue chip, hot one chip challenges. And he's just crazy creating things. Just lays awake at night like, how can I just destroy some taste buds tomorrow by cross-breeding and cross-pollinating some of the hottest peppers. So any of his stuff is just dangerous, but it's so good.
That Aardvark brand is actually pretty good.
Is it? I've never had it.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name, but that Aardvark brand is actually pretty good.
I have to check that one out. So thank you for that question, Skuta. Yeah, demolished that name, but I tried my best. Oh, this is a good one. I want us to both answer this. This is from the Midnight Tahoe. What is
Is that what you got outside?
no, that actually is a 2022 Toyota Tundra Platinum Edition,
Okay,
fully
right.
loaded.
There you go. There you go.
Sneak it in every week.
Yeah, you got it. You just drive it in there. So we're just
See,
all nonchalant, like, you know.
I set it up.
I see that
softball
Kobe and
pitch.
LeBron shot. What is your most creative rig you used for smoking? He stated, I used an old filing cabinet once. What's the most creative rig you've ever used, if you've ever had to get creative with smoking? Or creative rig in general for cooking, maybe not just for smoking. Let's broaden it out a bit for you, because I've got it on both ends.
I mean, I can't tell you how much I modified the original $80 charbroiled smoker that I got off of Amazon that had the paper thin metal. Like, I think I got some roofing tin and made
Okay, I like where this is going.
like made a chimney and like because the chimney was like that short, so I kind of stuffed it down the chimney so it was like actually grade level, so it would actually pull the smoke through grade level. And I was super
Brian,
cheap.
why does chimney length matter? Does the size matter in barbecue? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Size matters in
You
barbecue.
need a good chimney, or the meat's no good.
Well, I mean, you want a chimney that's the right length, because if you have a chimney that's too long, it can backfire.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
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 Mom
Well,
system.
there was a barbecue restaurant that bought a smoker in Georgia, and I won't name names, but
You've got to start naming names.
No, I can't name names.
I know.
So the smoker they bought, it had too long of a chimney. What happened was, it was a 500-gallon smoker, but it had like the chimney for like an 1,000-gallon smoker. So what happened was, it would only pull the air up so much, and then it would get cold,
Bottleneck.
and that cold air would come back down and actually stop and slow the brisket cooking process.
Yeah.
So they had to like go back and get a properly like a 500-gallon with a chimney size that was engineered for that size of a cooker.
Chimney size does matter.
Yes.
It's a very, very big thing. No, so yeah, I've
You have much more unique.
Yeah, I've done mods to story-bought stuff. You know, I've talked about the expanded sheet metal hack that I do on all my rigs, every one of my rigs, even my master build. I do it on, just so I can keep those baby coals. Obviously, I've made a smoker in the ground using, you know, Georgia clay burlap sacks and cast iron containers. I've made grills out of Coke cans when I was at a festival. When we were in Texas, I built us a rocket stove out of cinder blocks. Just whatever. Like, legitimately, give me a shovel. And would be making a camp smoker kit out of like some beer cans when we were out and about. But that's it. You can get creative. I think once you understand the principles of it, you can apply it to just. But I know everyone's got those Walmart bangers. You know, those $19.99, they go on sale. You know what I'm talking about. Have the little sliding vent thing that's just god awful for airflow. I've drilled up holes in that and built extra racks and have lined it with fire bricks around the end to hold it. And those are just little hacks you can do. But yeah, definitely gotten very creative on many a rig numerous times, because sometimes you have to. I don't think there's such thing as a perfect rig. There's perfect for the situation, but I don't think there's such thing as like the perfect one stop, does it all. I don't think that's out there yet.
No.
One day, maybe. You good on news? You got anything else for us?
I mean, we can go over the next couple Big Belly Tour stops.
Yeah, let's let them know. Let's let people know.
Big Belly Tour, Hoodoo Brown Barbecues touring the country and touring some barbecue joints, and they're making their famous like super crispy skinned pork belly. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be at. Oh wait, did I already talk about this?
No, you mentioned it. You mentioned like
Yeah, we didn't go.
we just
Okay. Yeah.
real,
Well, no.
little,
I
little
know.
broad
Actually,
stroke.
actually, no. I did say this. We already did. I'm losing my mind.
Are you?
Yeah, we did. We definitely did talk about this
you so
because
dumb?
I mispronounced Fegis.
Ah, that's right. Fuji's for Fuji. Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about the hat too. Like, yeah, I need to start making check marks on what we've done.
It's a growing process, man.
Yeah.
There we go. Who is this one? This one came through.
The chat's probably like, you already talked about this shit, man. Move on.
No, they're here. They're just like, oh, we get to look at Bryan talk some more. Let's do it. Oh, this is a good one. G. Frey Bourne, I guess short for Jeffrey Bourne, asked, how do you ensure edge-to-edge pink on a steak rather than just the center? What's your steak cooking technique? I don't think I've asked you about your dealing steaks.
I'm a reverse sear guy.
Right.
So reverse sear.
Shouldn't we all be?
You gotta break it down for those who may not be
So
familiar.
a reverse sear, and I use an oven. And the other thing that
Which is why I judge you.
yeah, I know. So actually,
I keep it at 2 just so it doesn't get
right.
too dark. Yeah.
So you'll cook it until it reaches basically like a rare or medium rare temperature.
Internal 118 to 120.
Right. Then you'll pull it off.
Trick.
Then you're gonna mess up that edge to edge. Pull it off, let it sit, pat it dry. That's another thing that people don't do. You want a dry surface when you throw it in a pan. You don't want any extra moisture because that's gonna you're not gonna get a good sear if you have that extra moisture.
Which is why you let it sit on a cooling rack so the drippings fall and it's not sitting in it.
Right. 1.5, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And honestly, you should be. I like to do the flipping every 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah. If I'm doing a steak, if I'm doing a steak indoor, outdoor, actually any which way, honestly, I'm flipping.
Yeah.
I'm always like 30 seconds, cool. And I just keep going. And people are like, oh, it's too much. I'm like, no, when I slice it and you see there's no gray bar, it's perfect edge to edge. That's why, because I'm keeping that heat flowing continuously back and forth. And one side is never getting more heat than the other. And that rest is the gem. You've got to let it rest in between you flipping. Let it rest 3 to 5 minutes. Let those juices redistribute. Make sure it's resting on a cooling rack or something elevated so that it's not sitting in the juices and the juices don't soften any of the remaining seasoning because you're going to want that hard sear.
It's not a burger. I mean, it's not a steak, but same concept.
There it is. Look, I'll show you guys this right here. This was dang it, wrong one. This was the beauty.
Yeah, that's
Move this way a little.
This way?
There.
Yeah.
Come back.
This way, come back.
But hold it right there. Now we got focus.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
That's the beauty. That's the beauty. No, that's a good one.
yeah. That one
That was your brisket burger.
Yeah, that was the edge to edge medium rare brisket burger.
And I love how you told everyone, like, hey, this is how it's being sold. It doesn't go over this.
Yeah,
Suck it up.
yeah. I mean, that might probably scared away some people, but I didn't have anybody ask about it.
No, there you go. I would take that over farm burger any day.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Any day. Because that looked beautiful. That looked beautiful.
Yeah, but the thing I did with that one is after it reached medium or reached that rare 120 temperature, I took it off and immediately ice bathed it basically. So it's completely stopped the cooking.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't people need to not underestimate the power of an ice bath.
Right.
Like, just stop it. You can use it for potatoes and pasta when you're making macaroni. Just stop the additional cooking so it doesn't get too soft. It's one of those little things. Little things make a difference, man.
Shock meat doing that too. Like if you don't let it rest. Like, is there anything that would you should never immediately do that?
Yeah, I would never do that. There's certain meats I would never ice bath. Like, I'd never ice bath a steak. That's just
Right.
wouldn't need to do that. Wouldn't. Links are different.
Yeah.
Links are definitely a different realm, but like stuff like steaks, birds, poultry, ribs, not shocking it because you need that to go.
It depends on what you're doing. Say you're doing a smoked fried chicken sandwich, doing a shock bath, so you can get it ready to. Because you're going to do a hard fry later.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like if you're holding, yeah.
Yeah, if you're holding it so you can do the fry later for service.
Yeah, if you fry to serve.
You want to get it as cold as possible quickly so you get it out of the danger zone.
Yeah.
That's really the point of that.
That's the big thing. I like that.
And the danger zone is between what 40 and 140 degrees. Well, I think it's 40 and 130 degrees now.
They changed. That's right. They did change it because they changed a lot of stuff as far as the USDA approvals or what have you.
But act like it's 140 degrees so we don't get in trouble.
Please do, because who's gonna tell? Who's gonna snitch? Oh, I like that one. I'm trying to find what they ran because someone had submitted a really good one, but I can't find that one. But we'll do this because I think she's talking about rig. But H.L. Whitting, I'm a barbecue newbie. What's the best barbecue I can buy for home? So she's talking about what barbecue rig would we suggest she get for the house, which is a good question considering the holidays are coming up. Maybe you've got some guy or gal that you're trying to snag, or a they, because it's 2022 and we're very progressive here on This Week in Barbecue, and you're wanting to snag them a rig. What is, if you had to go get a rig, you got like $500.
$500, okay.
What are you grabbing for $500?
That's a really good.
It is.
Yeah,
it
especially
is.
when you increase the budget to 500, it changes.
It
everything.
does change because
Like,
2, 3, you're like, oh well, but five, you got a little bit of wiggle
500.
room.
If I'm going for like if I want an offset cooker and I'm just trying to cook like barbecue, like I'm not trying to sear steaks or anything.
Yeah.
I think that Old Country Pit they sell at Academy for like 400.
Okay, yeah,
Like because I'm pretty sure it's like it's not. I think it's at least a 1/4 inch thick steel.
It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
like it's a legit like cooker for the cost. I mean, I still like if I'm looking for an all around cooker though. Like we've said it before, I don't really think for the value you can beat the Weber kettle.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is a Masterbuilt right now?
The Masterbuilt, you can get the 560 for under $5.
Okay, all right, yeah,
you
that's
the
like
560 model for under $5.
That's
your lump, your
Wood
chunks,
yeah.
all splits. Yeah,
so you can
the
smoke
560,
and sear.
lot of real estate, a lot of travel room.
I would not buy a cheap pellet.
Oh, like a Next Grill or like those Z.
Like
Z
the really
grill.
like I would not buy a generic pellet.
If you can get it at Kroger, do not buy that one.
Right.
The ones that they have outside held together with like that one bicycle chain, don't buy those. Those are paper thin, and I promise you, once the firebox crosses 350, it's going to shed, warp, and rust overnight.
Well, not only
once
like
water gets stored.
there's a reason that the name brand pellets are so much more expensive than the non-name brand pellets.
Yes.
Can you get like a Komodo Joe for under like a small one for under 500?
Probably at Atlanta Grill. Shout out to the guys over there. Let's go check them out. Let's see if we can't get them a little push here. Atlanta Grill Company. Boom. Let's see what they've got on the docket. They carry everything too. So if you are in the Atlanta area and you're really trying to find a smoker or a rig and you're not sure, go visit the guys over at Atlanta Grill Company. This isn't a paid thing or anything. They're just really cool guys and have always been good to me. Check them out. It's legitimately a candy store for kids because there's so many rigs there. You can get a Kamado Joe Jr. for under 500.
Okay, all right, yeah. So like Atlanta Grill Company, if you're in the area, I prefer to go. You say Home Depot's got a good selection.
They do. Home Depot does have
and then
a crazy good
I like
selection.
Academy because they gear more towards a little bit of smoking.
They do.
Yeah.
Mo's got his seasonings over at Academy, but also I think Academy is
Yeah,
they're a little up there in price, like a scooch, you know.
There was a long time that I bought all of my that B&B wood, the
Hey.
bagged wood from Academy because it was $15 a bag.
Shout out to B&B, shout
Yeah.
out to Kita and the whole crew over there.
So,
shout out to Duraflame who owns B&B.
Yeah,
You know, it's a whole thing.
like I think they just have for what they have a little bit of a wider selection.
No, I agree. I agree. So if I've got to put 500 on it, so we've said for $500, either the one at Academy, which is
The Old Country, is it the Old Country Pecos? Pecos.
We'll see. We'll toss it in there.
yeah.
You can get a Masterbuilt 560 for under $5, and you can.
That's going to be the most versatile.
That's definitely the most versatile.
Right.
And it's good for people who are just new, like,
Right.
what do I do? Then you can also get a Kamado Joe Jr. for under $5 at Atlanta Grill Company too, and they ship, so that works out.
And then if you're on a budget, can't beat the Weber kettle.
No, you can get a really fancy, what do they call, like the 32-inch
I mean,
model for that much.
there's
If
other
you're going
brands of
up
kettles
there.
out there too, right?
Name one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't like. It's one of those
Name
things.
one.
It's one of those things where like Weber is kind of cornered the market. It's like
The name of the product is the brand. Like
the iPod.
Like Q-tip is Q-tips. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's a brand name. It's not the actual air name. It's actually an air swab or a con swab, but
It's
that's
the
just what it's become.
iPod. Like every MP3 player, it doesn't matter what brand or anything. It was an iPod.
Everything was an iPod.
Well, and there are no other MP3 players now.
No.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
don't-
There's no iPods now.
there's no. I was about to say I don't think that, everyone's just got a phone, but no, there isn't anything left. So we got the.
There's really
$5
expensive
smoker.
FLAC players now.
You good on news?
I'm good on news.
I think I hit everything I wanted to hit, but let me check once more because I did want to make sure that we did talk about Pops and his multiples. Like I said, he's going to be there this whole weekend in Lockhart. So if you're in Lockhart, just go say hi.
And then stay another week and go back to Lockhart.
Yeah, it's just they're doing everything. They're doing a whole VIP takeover. We just got to move to Lockhart. Probably not moving to Texas. My sisters would never let me sleep, ever. Let's knock out 2 more questions. Yeah.
2's a solid number. Maybe we should do 3 since we didn't answer any last week.
Yeah, well, I told you, you got to be careful on those tirades you get on. You got to watch that anger, man. It's don't let it get the best of you. Copy. Ooh, I like this. This is from Sean. I can actually say that name because it was a Sean. When you spray ribs, butts, briskets, do you have a common base liquid or does it vary?
You're gonna hate me for this.
Oh, God.
It's
What's
just
the email?
This week in barbecue at gmail.com.
it's like 40% apple cider vinegar, 60% water. I know. And then honestly, I don't spray my butts or briskets that often anymore. I spray ribs more often than either of them.
Gosh, I swear.
Worcestershire trick.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Yeah,
the W sauce.
the W sauce, the Lee and Perrins.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, where you use like
Can we all vote to rename Worcestershire to
just
something
Lee and
easy?
Perrins? Just
Yeah.
call it Lee and Perrins.
Yeah.
Kroger brand Lee and Perrins. No, I mean, so that one's a good one. Like if you have do probably like 30% Worcestershire and then 70% water. It's a good way to kind of
To fudge it.
to fudge it. But yeah, I haven't done that one in a while.
I'm taking my spray liquid to the grave. It doesn't involve any of what you've mentioned.
Right.
But I'm taking
You have a weird hate of ACV.
Yeah, I make mine, but it's one of those things where I can legitimately give you every step of the process. But if I hold that liquid out, it doesn't taste the same.
Right.
Doesn't taste the same. It's like when I open up a restaurant, it'll be one of those things that I'll be coming in weekly just to make a giant vat of, and then just be on my way.
Can you pull a Ronnie Scott? So it's got some paprika and a little paprika
And a little bit more paprika,
and then at the back end, just some more paprika.
He's got so Ronnie's got a recipe in his book, and I looked around. I was like Ronnie, I know it's in your sauce. I ain't all of it. You know, there's a lot. Those amounts, I don't know those amounts, but
You got to hold a little bit back.
you have to. Rodney definitely influenced how my ribs tasted. I'll never forget you saying like some of the best ribs I made was once I shifted to like the Rodney's approach. This is long before his book.
Right.
I just wanted to start. For my ribs, I stopped spritzing and started mopping and made like a really rich mop sauce for it, which varies from what I spray my butts and my briskets with.
Yeah.
But no, it's a mean sauce. And shout out one more for Rodney. He actually has 4 new spices with Spice House that they are doing a holiday bundle, so you can get all 8 of Rodney's spices with Spice House on sale right now. You can get it through Rodney's website or spicehouse.com and get that ready, packed already in a nice gift box for you for the holidays. We're going to do a lot of holiday pushes because we have our holiday gift guide that'll be coming up really, really soon. Hey, shout out to my brother Boys Barbecue. thank you so much for joining and watching, man. Love your stuff on TikTok. It's always a great laugh, always a good time. We've got to get you on the pod. And we have people, believe it or not, that want to talk to us. Like, after the last episode, people have emailed in that want to hop on the pod with us and talk barbecue. I'm down with it. And I'm going to sidetrack and put the pressure on Richard and say we're not doing any of that until he gets on here because he's local.
Yeah, Richard needs to be on first.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Richard should have been on before me.
Well, he's been dipping and dodging. He got a great promotion, so I respect it and get it. Richard was my first choice, but
I know.
No, brother. I told you I wanted you to co-host and I wanted Richard to be a guest, so here you are.
Still accepting applications.
Still accepting because I got to keep my options open. It's cuffing season, so I got to keep my options open.
I just want to say, some of the best ribs I ever had were at Rodney Scott's in Charleston.
Yeah.
So
no, Rodney and B have made the best ribs I've had.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't know what B sprays a little bit of crackers, some black tar heroin on those ribs or something, but it's really, really good. So rich, so flavorful, man. It's amazing. Amazing.
For me, Rodney Scott, Snows, and City Market in Lulling.
Yeah. So we'll finish off with this one because it's a peculiar question.
We got two more.
No, we'll just do one more.
I went on a tirade. I'm trying to put the olive branch back out for.
All right.
I mean, the episode that didn't even make it to the podcast.
Well, the streaming's out there. Watch. That's what the YouTube's for.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a. Can we start an OnlyFans strictly for the podcast?
Only butts.
Like OnlyFans.com/This Week in Barbecue. Would you guys subscribe to our OnlyFans? Just support us.
Beard stroking.
It is. It's this visually. It's visual, but you can only watch it on our OnlyFans. And by subscribing, you'll help Bryan and I's beard oil habit to keep these beards, properly moisturized and lubricated during these cold winter months we're about to face.
I gotta have more than one type of beard butter.
You use a butter? I use an oil.
I use the beard butter.
Who do you use for your beard?
I don't know. I have 3 different brands.
It's a whole process. I go between Scotch Porter and this brand called Cremo. Cremo just sent me a whole kit with beard stuff and body washes. I feel all zestily clean.
No, I have a separate bar of beard shampoo.
Hold 2 ounces on my face just to get it all going. No, all right. We'll do the 2 more. We'll do the two more.
You want to save the good one for last then?
All right, we'll save the good one. They're both all good, so no one feels bad. Bruised brews, play on words. Different types of rice. Do you have any go-to rices that you choose or have experimented with? Do you mess around with variations of rice at all, or
So it depends on what I'm making.
When you're not doing your boudins?
For boudin, I just use a generic long white enriched. I mean, the key is rinse that rice first. Get the starch off.
I can't tell you how many people do not wash their rice.
Wash the rice.
And I'm just like, how?
Buy a rice cooker. Just do it.
Stop. Oh, you think you're better than me because you drink your coffee black?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
But it's better than stovetop rice? Rice cooker rice, because I don't have to do anything.
You know who has a good stovetop rice recipe?
Candy?
No, you're gonna hate.
Wow, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot.
Get a rice cooker.
Get a rice cooker.
Jasmine.
Maybe we should give away a rice cooker.
I like jasmine rice.
I love jasmine rice. I love Thai. My ass handed to me recently by Black Long Grain, trying to get brisket right. I just keep going through this stuff, trying to nail it.
If you can get the real Carolina Gold, the heritage,
yeah. That's what's his name? Who's got it? He was on
Sean Brock.
Yes.
Or no, is it Sean?
No, it's Brock. Yeah.
Sean Brock?
Yeah,
okay.
That's Brock.
Yeah, all right.
No, it's been wild rice has been kicking my ass lately, and I've been messing around with it for the last couple of months. And it's very, very tricky, very finicky. At least for me, if we had listeners, I'm sure someone would be listening saying, "Oh, it's not that hard." No, it's been giving me the business solidly.
Have you ever accidentally used the wrong rice, but it came out in a kind of an awesome way?
No, because I sort all my rice. I have them all. I have them all separate because I'll have like cheap rice that if I'm doing like a burrito or something like that, that's what I'll do.
No.
And my separated out.
Well, no. So we usually make my sister usually makes a roast chicken anytime she's in town for the holidays, and we use the leftover that roast chicken to make some chicken and rice soup. Yeah. So one year, like I don't know why, I was like, "Hey, just use this Saboro rice." And so what ended up happening, it ended up working out. It made like this partial. Aboro rice is really good for risotto because it like absorbs a lot of liquid.
Like
so it ended up making this almost like risotto chicken porridge. Like it was really awesome, and we do it on purpose, but it was totally a screw up on my part to do it. But it's actually really
worked out. It's like penicillin. It was a complete accident. I had no idea. It didn't mean for it to happen. Did the paperwork, years later, turned out to be a great thing. So, no. You ready for the last one?
Absolutely.
All right. So, this can go to both, or probably leans heavily towards me, but this is from Chef LEV. How do you adjust to working with new-to-you equipment when you're traveling? So, maybe not just me, but maybe if you're going out somewhere and you're wanting to do a gig, how do you adjust or have or will?
So... Hopefully, if I'm there and maybe this is how you do it. If someone's there who's familiar with the equipment, just ask like a ton of questions and just kind of like see what their process is, how they run it.
Yeah.
I mean, because like we can, like I operate strictly on straight offset smokers, but if I go to some other place and they have an offset smoker, it's going to cook. Yeah, this is something that you're way more familiar with than me.
For me, I'll do certain things. So if they have a specific rig that they're like, hey, we've got this and this from so-and-so, like as an actual rig, not anything in building, I'm like, cool. So on my rider, I'll put like 2 or 3 cans of dollar biscuits just so when I get there, I can pop it, fire it, and do a biscuit test like the night before, the day of whatever.
Hey, Rasheed, what's a biscuit test?
Oh, thank you so much for asking that there, Bryan. So the biscuit test is the cheapest and scientific method.
Is it scientific?
It's scientific in the world of barbecue.
Yeah.
You have to, but then it turns black quickly because it's barbecue. The biscuit method is where you get $1. Well, at this inflation prices, the $2 can of biscuits.
The $3 can of biscuits.
$3 can of biscuits. You pop them, and you get your rig to the cooking temperatures on the biscuit settings, and you set 2 to 3. I like to go 2, whatever it is, 3 up front, 3 in back, depending if there's racks. And you cook it for however long the biscuit instructions tell you to. Pop the top and you look at it and you'll see which biscuits have cooked more, which are over, which are under, and that's how you find and locate your hot spots. So that's a great way to learn a rig that isn't yours, because once you can identify the hot spots and you know how the fuel and air moves, you're pretty much golden. So that's your biscuit test.
Yeah, I mean, even just running a test fire. Like if your event's going to be in 3 days, you're out there 2 days early. They have the rigs all set up. Just run a test fire and kind of monitor what it does. Like take a couple hours to do that just to see. It's like, oh, okay, this is where I needed to be at this temp. This is where I need to be at this temp. Okay, if I open the door this much, it gets this much hotter. Yeah, just do that. Take some notes.
No, that's definitely the way. And if I'm doing stuff where it's where it is like an outdoor on a rig per se, like Connecticut, where it's just nature is what I'm cooking on, I don't prep that stuff until as early as I can the day of the event, because everything's cold. You never want to start a raging inferno on rocks or things like that. You've got to slowly bring everything up to temp, let everything get acclimated and used to the warmth and the heat. Then when it's warm, everything's dried out, go to town. But there's 1,000,001 ways, and that is a process and procedure for a whole different video on a different website coming soon. But we'll share. I think that's it, yeah?
I think that's good.
I think that's pretty good.
We got that extra question in, so I feel atoned for my transgressions week.
Thank you for keeping it all within, realm.
I reined it in.
Yeah, we should. What do you want to do? We got to give this guy away. This is from our cool buddies over at M7M BBQ. So what do we do? How do you want to give this one away?
I mean,
well, it's Thanksgiving coming up. Yeah. So what if on this video or post on the socials, tell us your favorite dish for Thanksgiving?
But no, you got to do it on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
You have to go to the YouTube. And
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. So win this, and I don't have one on, but imagine there's a Philips Barbecue hat in this hand as well. There's none in the room.
And I'll be lame and throw on a secret pint barbecue sticker.
Oh gosh, because that makes or breaks it. The sticker.
Right. Yeah, because did you not hear how I prefaced it?
I'll be lame. Yeah.
It's
The truth of the fact is,
it's the shit cherry on top of it. Like,
he's been trying to give these stickers away for years.
I was trying to sell them at first.
So here we go. No, we'll give away that. You get to choose. You get to choose between a wonderful Secret Pint barbecue sticker.
No, we're getting like whatever hat it comes with. They're getting it no matter what.
They're going to mail it back to us. I didn't want this sticker. No, you get to choose between, actually, no, we'll do both. You get a Philips Barbecue hat, our latest rendition, this wonderful hat from M7M BBQ Co. And
a mediocre Secret Pint barbecue sticker.
Slightly less than average Secret Pint barbecue sticker. Just comment your favorite Thanksgiving meal or recipe, title, whatever, on the YouTube video, and we'll reach out. We'll even cover the shipping. The cost of that very expensive and heavy sticker that Bryan is so generously donating to the pot.
You know what? I still have like one rub left.
We can't. I want to.
You're like.
I want.
Yeah,
He'll take it. We can't though legally.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, if I just rip off the label,
No, not doing that. I'm not giving away my rub. So
we could give a turtle rub.
No, we're not giving a turtle rub. I don't think we can ever send
We
that
can give
out.
an unlabeled turtle rub.
We can never send that out. We never. We're screwed. And then after this giveaway, we're going to give away some Yetis. So stay tuned. But that has been This Week in Barbecue. I have been your host, Rasheed Phillips, and joining me as always is the beautiful bearded wonder, Mr.
Bryan Hull. Hey, tell a friend to tell two friends.
God dang, he's got, ladies and gentlemen.